Hello guys, welcome to S Academicus. Today in this lecture I'll be designing a actually loaded column with biaxial bending. In my previous lecture I have designed a simple actually loaded column with the theory behind your column design, the types of column, those things were discussed in my previous video. So in this lecture I will be explaining a design of short column with axial loading plus your biaxial bending. So the axial load which has been applied on this column is this is your axial load. This is your bend. This is bending along your uh, major axis. This is bending along your major principal axis, that is x is your major principal axis. This is bending along your minor principal axis. So we have the bending in both the directions. So we this problem is actually loaded with biaxial bending. The unsupported length given is 3.2. So they have directly given the unsupported length. In case if they have mentioned any support condition, then your this effective length L effective will be as per clause 25.2 IS 456, which gives which gives a factor for your L effective. L effective is equals to K into L. So K you'll get through this clause. So we have been given columns unsupported length of column 3.2. The column dimension is also given in the problem. The shorter dimension is 400 mm. The longer dimension is 500 mm. So the first and the foremost step in the design of actually loaded columns with biaxial bending is verification. The step for verification of eccentricity. So step 1 verification of eccentricity. City. So for eccentricity, we have the eccentricity in both the direction, E minimum in x, E minimum in y. So the formula for this eccentricity is your length, unsupported length divided by 500 plus the dimension x y by 30. X y means your dimension either this or this. So if you're calculating E eccentricity minimum along x direction, then this will become 3200 by 500 plus your depth along x direction is 400. So 400 by 30, which is coming around 19.73. But your eccentricity, but it should be, if it is, it should be the minimum eccentricity should be 20 mm. So the greater among these two values should be considered as eccentricity among x direction or eccentricity among y directions. So E minimum x, in this case we have E minimum x is equals to 20 mm. So similarly we need to calculate E minimum y. So for y we have same unsupported length, that is 3200 by 500 plus along y the depth is 500 and 30. So it is coming around 23.07 or 20. So among these two value, whichever is greater, that will be considered as E minimum along y direction. So we have 23.07 as eccentricity. So now we have these are the minimum eccentricity, but actual eccentricity, as we have actually axial bending, there is a bending in both the direction. So we need to calculate the eccentricity because of those forces. So to ex, so along x direction, the actual eccentricity due to moment, we have moment, so mux upon pu, so which is equals to 130. Moment along x direction was 130 into 10 raised to 6. It was in kilonewton meter, and the axial force was 2000 into 10 raised to 3. So it is coming around 65 mm. So thus the eccentricity along x direction is 65 mm. Eccentricity along y direction is equals to muy upon pu. Similarly, we have eccentricity along y direction as 60 mm. The mu movement along y direction was 120 kilonewton meter. So the ey is equals to 60 mm, ex was 65 mm. Thus the since these are greater than 20, so we definitely have a eccentric loading, and therefore these moment has been taken care. So next, after verifying the eccentricity, step number 2 is to assume a trial section. Step 2, assume trial section including reinforcement. Including reinforcement. So in this step, we have just need to assume some trial section, and the resultant moment need to be calculated in this step. So resultant moment mu, first we need to calculate mu, which is equals to 1.15 mu x square plus mu y square, so which is coming around 20203.456 kilonewton meter. So this is your actual moment for which the design will take care. So we, as per IS 45, 456, we need to calculate pu upon fck bd, fck bd, and mu upon fck bd square. So with these two values, we as with these two values and graph, that there is a chart 44 and 45 and 45 IS 456. We calculate the value of P upon FCK. So the values of these PU upon FCK BD and MU upon FCK BD square is coming around zero point 0.4 and 0.0814. So with these values, with using the chart number 44 and 45 IS 456 2000, we'll get the value of this P upon FCK, where P is your percentage of steel and FCK is grade of concrete. So that coming from that chart, it is coming around 0.06. So the P is 0.06 into FCK. FCK in our case, we have used M20 grade, 25 grade of concrete. So FCK is 25. So the percentage of steel is coming around 1.5%. 1.5% of your cross sectional area. So ASC, so area of steel, is equals to 1.5 by 100 into BD, which is equals to 3000 mm square. So we are providing 12 numbers, 20 mm dia bar. So actual AST provided is coming around, AST provided is coming around 3769 mm square. So actual PT, that is percentage of steel, is coming around 1.884%. Accordingly, P by FCK value will be changed, that is 0.07538. So these values, once we revise this, so we need to revise this value because that will be used in later calculations. So now we have a percentage of steel, we have the main reinforcement percentage, we have main reinforcement calculation, and now the step number 3. Now step number 3 says we need to determine MUX1 and MUY1. So we need to just verify that the moment which we have provided is insufficient or not. If that is not sufficient, then we have to redesign. Otherwise, we need not to redesign the column. This means this is your capacity, and the moment which we have been given in the problem, those are your design moments. So these moment should be greater than your actually moment which was coming as a part of our. So as we have already calculated in the above step, pu upon fck bd, and this p by fck which we have just revised with the revised ast provided, it is coming around 0.7538. So in this problem, say, using same chart number 44 and 45, previously we used to calculate the interpolate the value of fck from that chart where we had mu upon fck bd square and pu upon fck bd. But in this problem we already have these two, and we will be calculating mu upon fck bd square, fck bd square. So with that we'll be getting moment. So along x direction we are getting, you can, with the chart you'll be getting the value after interpolation, the mu upon fck bd square, where you'll be needed, where you'll need d dash. So d dash in our case is 58 mm. So there the ratio for d by d dash is 0.116. So the ratio of d by d dash, f pu upon fck bd and p fck, will be getting mu x1 upon fck bd square is equals to 0.09044. So we have the value fck, we have b d. So mu x1 directly we can calculate, which is coming around 226.1 kilonewton. So which is greater than 130 kilonewton meter, which was part of problem. Similarly, we using same method we will calculate mu y1, which is coming around 171.6 kilonewton meter, which is greater than 120 kilonewton meter. Hence we need not to redesign, hence the design is okay. So these moments are your actually the moment capacity along your both the direction, that both the axis both the axis, that is your x axis and y axis. So the reinforcement which we have provided is sufficient to resist the moment which has been asked to resist in the problem. So now we have this satisfied the moment resisting criteria. Now we need to determine pu upon puz and an in the step number 4. Next step 4, we need to check for biaxial bending. So in this step we'll be just checking whether our design is sufficient against biaxial bending. So for that we need to for checking for that checking. So for this checking for adequacy of the section, we need to first find this alpha n. The alpha n depends upon your pu upon p, pu upon puz. Puz is actual the capacity, the axial force capacity, and pu was your force, axial force, which was given in the problem. So the pu by pz we have calculated, it is coming around 0.5916, 0.5916 pu upon pz. So the formula, the formula for alpha n is equals to 0.67 plus 1.67 pu upon pz, where pu upon pz should lie between these two values, that is it should be greater than 0.2 and less than 0.8. So alpha n is coming around, that is your 1.658. So for checking of adequacy section, we have a formula where mu x upon mu x1 alpha raised to n should be less than 1.0. So mu upon mx, that is 120 by 170 226 120. This formula is mu x upon mu z x1 plus mu y upon mu y1, the summation raised to alpha n, the summation should be less than 1. So for x we have 130 by 226, 130 by 226, where alpha is 1.658, plus for mu y 120 by 170, 1.6 raised to 1.658. So the summation should be less than 1. So it is coming around 0.9521, which is less than 1. So for the checking of biaxial bending, the value of mu x upon mu x1 plus raised to alpha n plus mu y upon mu y1 raised to alpha n, which that should be less than 1. So hence we have this safe design. So now once we have calculated the main reinforcement, we have confirmed the check of eccentricity, we have confirmed the check of minimum adequacy of the section. The last step, that is step number 6. Step 6 is to design the transverse reinforcement, that is design of transverse reinforcement. So we have to design transfer. Main reinforcement we have already designed, so this is design of, last step is design of transverse reinforcement. So as per clause 26.5.3.2 CIS 456, the diameter of lateral ties should be greater than, diameter of lateral ties should be greater than 20 by 4 mm, or that is 20 by 4 mm, it is coming around for the 16.5. So it should be greater than 5. So let's provide 8 mm dia bar, because we are nowadays we are not providing 6 mm dia bar. So it should be, we should provide the lateral reinforcement as a 8 mm dia. So the spacing for that should be the least lateral dimension. The first condition for spacing is least lateral dimension. So we have provided 8 mm dia. So that spacing should be least, should be lesser than least lateral dimension, which is 400 mm. The least lateral dimension in our case is 400 mm. Then it should be 16 times diameter of longitudinal bar, 16d. So we have used 20 mm dia bar, that is, so it is coming around 320 mm. So it should be least among these two value, and there is one more condition, it should be less than or equals to 300 mm. So among these three values, the least value is 300 mm. So we have a reinforcement, we have final design where 12 numbers of 20 mm dia bar as main reinforcement, and your 8 mm at 200 300 center to center, 8 mm at 300. So the transverse reinforcement is 8 mm at 300 mm center to center. So this was regarding your design of axially loaded column with biaxial bending. So next we'll just draw the diagram. So just to show you this, I have just drawn a rough gauge. So this is your main reinforcement. This is 12 number of 20 mm dia bar. This is your 8 mm, that is transverse reinforcement at 300 mm. This is your longer dimension, this is your shorter dimension, this is your cover, that is effective cover. So this was regarding the design of actually loaded column with biaxial bending. So in this problem we have calculated the design reinforcement, and we have checked for whether the reinforcement is sufficient for your bending as well as your axial compression. So hope you have understood this problem. If you have any doubt, you can comment, we will try to clarify all the doubts, and in future we'll be coming up with more problems on design of columns. We'll be uploading a video on design of slender column, that is a long column. So if you have any doubt, if you have any suggestions, you can comment, and we will try to comply your doubts, and we will try to, while calculating the moment, the resultant moment in step number 2, I've just missed this under root sign in my formula, where your resultant moment is your 1.15 times under root mu x square plus mu y square. So this is coming around. So I have just missed out this, so please correct this. The mu is equals to 1.15 under root mu square x plus mu square y. So this was regarding the design of actually loaded column with biaxial bending. Please subscribe to my channel and share our videos. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care. Goodbye.